Hi everyone, welcome back to Wrestling Fun with Father and Son. I'm Father Matt and this is Son.
Hi.
And this is the week that was WWE. This is Raw. Right, Raw, 6th of May. There's a little bit to get through, especially the first bit, so we'll just crack into it, won't we? Raw started off with Vince McMahon coming out.
Then Roman Reigns came out.
We're just skipping the gun there, aren't we? Yeah, Reigns come out basically to address the crowd, didn't he? That then proceeded to bring out Roman Reigns. Obviously over the weekend, Roman Reigns had put a tweet out there saying he's going to be on Raw, even though he's on SmackDown, and the WWE official said that he was not to turn up, but he did. He basically said that the fans were the authority, because if we remember a few months ago, when the WWE was struggling with ratings, they actually came out. All three of the McMahons came out, didn't they? Or I think Triple H was with them. I'm not sure. I can't remember that far back, but they come out and said about the ratings and said they were going to do more for the fans and all that, which, to be honest, hasn't really happened. That's what Roman Reigns was addressing. He said it was a lie. He said he didn't take orders from the McMahons. He takes orders from the WWE fans now in the universe. That then proceeded to bring out Daniel Bryan. He came out and was saying about his title match at WrestleMania against Kofi. That brought out then Kofi Kingston came out, didn't he? And he was talking about basically about the championship. Daniel Bryan was saying how it was a fluke that he won, and and Kofi was saying, well, if you wanted, you should have just come to me, and about the title and all that, and that sort of got into it. And then Vince McMahon interrupted him and said that he was now going to introduce a wild card rule. At the time of that, when he announced that, he said that 3 superstars could go from Raw to SmackDown and SmackDown to Raw. I don't know what I feel about this. I think this is just a cheap way of trying to get to introduce a little bit of unpredictability into the show, but we'll see what happened. Then that brought out
Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre came out and addressed Roman Reigns. Obviously they had that big feud going up to WrestleMania. They then decided that they'd make Drew versus Roman Reigns again on Raw, and they'd also make Kofi Kingston versus Daniel Bryan for the title again. Then after all that, AJ Styles came out, didn't he, to say about how it was convenient how they brought this wild card in and now Reigns was on Raw. Basically hinting that he'd probably support Seth in this match. That then brought out Seth Rollins. Again, doing the same kind of promo as the sort of contract signing last week about the house that AJ Styles built, and Monday Night Rollins, it did sort of the same thing. Vince then proceeded to make a tag team match of AJ Styles and Seth Rollins versus Bobby Lashley and Baron Corbin.
But Seth and AJ should be a team.
Well, they shouldn't be a team, no. They didn't coexist, did they? Because during the match, AJ Styles went for a forearm to Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin then moved and he hit Seth Rollins. He then proceeded to walk away, and then Seth Rollins got an end of days, and then Baron Corbin got a victory over him. So yeah, they can't function as a team, as it were. Next we had Sami Zayn come out and do this exact same promo he's been doing for the last few weeks, but this time Braun Strowman came out. He chased off Sami Zayn into the crowd, and then they had a little bit of a backstage sequence with them too, where he put him in a dumpster, and then the dumpster lorry come and took it away. Lucha House Party had a match against some jobbers. Not much to it. I don't understand why they had that. They could have had some other people on the show. They could have utilised them a bit better. Lucha House Party won. Ricochet versus Bobby Roode. That was a Money in the Bank type for the match at Money in the Bank. I don't really understand why they've done it. They sort of said that if Bobby Roode won, then he'd replace Ricochet, but that didn't actually happen. Ricochet won, so he's still in that match. Then we got another backstage sequence with the women of the Money in the Bank. Lacey Evans had invited them, I think, to watch her match. Then we had Rey Mysterio with his son Dominic in the back. He sent off Dominic to get some water, and then we see Samoa Joe follow Dominic. And then later on, they sort of teased the match, I think, between him and Dominic. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, there's going to be something going on forward with that. And then also, it was later announced, I think, on their website that now it's going to be Samoa Joe versus Rey for the title at Money in the Bank. Then we had Lacey Evans. She had all the Money in the Bank women competitors down on the Raw side, down at the ring, sort of watching her match. She had a very quick match. Then Becky Lynch came out, and then they had a brawl again. Not much to that, really. The Viking Raiders had a match against Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. Again, not much to that match. They're obviously teasing that they might win the titles eventually, and they got a victory over the champions. Then we had the Fireflies Funhouse again. Again, I've said recently I'm really impressed with these.
Mercy the Blizzard.
Yeah, Mercy the Buzzard. It wasn't a lizard, it was a buzzard. Yeah, Mercy the buzzard had decapitated and ripped apart Ramblin' Rabbit. Yeah, I'm very impressed with these. This one wasn't as good. This was the weakest one out of the three, I think. So hopefully they're not taking a dive in quality, but it's still an interesting thing to see. Then we had Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre in a WrestleMania rematch. Again, not much to it. Roman Reigns won with a DQ finish because Shane McMahon and Elias attacked him from the crowd, didn't they? And then out of nowhere, The Miz came out with a chair to chase off Shane McMahon. And then Elias and Drew McIntyre then attacked Roman Reigns, and he got a Claymore kick from Drew McIntyre. Then we went to the backstage where Shane McMahon was trying to sort of hide from The Miz, and they sort of then had a little bit of a sort of fight around the limousine, had a few chair shots and that, and then Shane sort of disappeared in the limousine, did he? Next we had the Revival, and the Usos had a little bit of a thing. I don't really like this, that they make out that the Revival are a joke team. They're not. It was something to do with Usi Hot. We don't really know what that is in this country, I don't think. But they made them out to be a joke act again. I don't really particularly like that way of using the Revival. There is rumours that the Revival don't want to stay in the company. Doing this is just going to push them away. So, you know, they're going to keep doing these joke things. They're just going to leave the company in the end. Next, No Way Jose came out and then got attacked by Lars Sullivan, didn't he? Again, Lars Sullivan, again, he keeps doing these attacks, and it's just a bit boring, isn't it, Kai? I think it's a bit boring. Then we had a backstage sequence with Vince saying about the wild card, how it was genius.
And he was on his phone.
He was on his phone, yes, and saying about the wild cards and how it was great and all this and that. Only for Lars Sullivan then to walk in, and for Vince then to change it to 4 members of Raw to SmackDown, SmackDown to Raw. And then we get to the main event, which is Kofi Kingston versus Daniel Bryan for the WWE title in a rematch from WrestleMania. Again, Daniel Bryan has had an undisclosed injury for the last 4 weeks. We don't really know what it is. It looks like he's been now cleared, and now he's back. They had a nice match, but Kofi Kingston then trouble in paradise and won the match, didn't he? And that's how they went off with Raw. I've been liking the last couple of Raws, to be honest. They've been watchable. They have been brilliant. This one, I'm not really... I don't know. I don't really feel it this week. That wild card, I'm not really... I couldn't take it or leave it. I couldn't really be bothered by the wild card, to be honest. I just think that the brand split is not really working as well as what they wanted to. Maddening the wild card is just another... They had superstars from Raw to SmackDown to Raw anyway, so I don't understand why they just brought this in, but... It is what it is. What did you think of Raw this week?
It was kind of with Mercy the buzzard ripping the rabbit.
Yeah. You think that's the best bit, did you?
No.
Oh, well. What then?
The rest of it was good.
Oh, the rest of it was good, was it? Except for that bit, yeah. Not really catered towards children, that bit, was it? But, yeah, we'll see what happens with that going forward. Hopefully they're not going to bury that. But yeah, that was just a quick review. Like I say, there was a lot in Raw. I just wanted to get through it quite a bit because it wasn't that great of an episode of Raw. But obviously it had its points and we sort of mentioned them. So yeah, I think we'll leave it there, won't we, Kai? So we'll see you in the next video, which will be the week that was WWE SmackDown. And if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll say goodbye. And say goodbye, Kai.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.